Testing, testing. Um, I should have done this before I started the stream, but I am going to mess with the settings for my camera because it does the auto. I don't know, it does auto everything. It seems like each time I start up, it's kind of weird because what happens is I start up. If it's not the first thing on the system, and sometimes even if it is, OBS will have my video out of sync, video and audio out of sync. And then so what I have to do is I have to turn it off and then restart it, and it's fine. But then when I do that, I have to actually go back into settings, and every setting that I'd set to manual before, I have to do it again. I have to reset it back to the automatic settings, apply it, and then I have to reset it back to the manual settings so that it doesn't autofocus and give me, multiple frame rate and all that kind of junk. So it's kind of annoying, but it is what it is, I guess. Part of the partly because I'm on Linux or a version of Linux, and there might be better versions of Linux that actually work well with the webcam. It's a Logitech C922 Pro, I think, HD, and so yeah. Anyways, so let's do the thing here. Give me a quick second. I'm just looking at the settings here. White balance automatic, we'll just turn that back on. Auto exposure, we'll switch to aperture priority mode. Exposure dynamic frame rate, we'll put that on. Focus automatic continuous. And then I'll click OK, and then I'll go into the properties again. I know you're not seeing this; you're just seeing my head. That's just because I don't want infinite me's or whatever, the feedback or whatever it is. I guess it doesn't really matter that much, you know. I'm just a dude. I'm not like a professional like broadcaster or something. So, anyways, now I have to go back and turn them on here. In fact, I'll just go ahead and do it. Anyways, here. Now you can see. There I go, off into infinity. Anyways, so right here I got the white balance automatic. So now I have to turn that back off. In fact, I don't know if you can tell it, but there's a slight tint change because of that. I don't know what auto exposure how this works. So, but I just want to make sure it's on manual so that it doesn't do anything funny. Exposure dynamic frame rate. See that dynamic frame rate there? I think that must have been the problems I was having. In fact, I might could go back to editing the MKV files because I bet that my problem was just this. But it's fine because I'll use Handbrake to convert the MKV files to MP4s, and they're usually quite a bit smaller, which is good because even though I have quite a bit of space, 1080p video still takes up quite a bit of space. So this just kind of helps me manage my space a bit more. And it's kind of fragmented because I got my my 1 terabyte NVMe drive SSD in there, and it's dual booting Windows 10 and Linux Mint Debian Edition. And then I created another separate partition and gave a little bit more space, took space from the Windows partition and gave a little bit more space to for home, and it transferred home over to a separate partition. And then I have my hard drive, which is a 8 terabyte hard drive, and I gave some of the space that I previously allocated to NTFS and formatted as XD4. So I've got stuff that's kind of fragmented. I got about 5 terabyte now on the hard drive, and I'm still a couple hundred or a few hundred gigabyte on my main drives, my main operating system drives. So it helps to have this compressed and stuff. And I might actually increase the data rate because I can kind of tell a little bit the difference between the original MKV and the MP4 that's resulted. It's really good. I mean, but I can still tell it makes a few things a little smudgy, a little blurry, a little bit. It still does keep the text pretty good, which is fine. But yeah, overall, maybe I might increase the bit rate so that it has a little bit more to play with. It means a little slightly larger file sizes, but they'll still be like half the size of uh, the original MKV. The copy. Okay, and let's turn this to exposure. Okay, so I was having problems editing, and what I was told is that um, OBS sometimes likes to do variable frame rate. I think there was a setting called somewhere called peak frame rate or something. That might have been in Handbrake though. I'm not sure. But so basically, yeah. And now that I look here, exposure, dynamic frame rate, no dynamic frame rate, no focus either. There. Now now when I set it, I don't know if you'll notice this, and maybe sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work necessarily. But if I do this, if you notice that it doesn't change brightness or anything, why? Because I have the settings, but the settings don't stay. And I have a feeling it's something to do with the fact that I have to start OBS twice, or that nothing can be loaded first before OBS starts. So it restarts something, and so it resets the settings whenever I have to restart it. So whatever, it is what it is. Anyways, I guess I can officially start this now, regardless. Um, I haven't actually posted the link to the stream yet. Let's see. Ba, 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 ba. Okay. We're gonna do a few things today, but let me advertise my stream here. Okay, so I opened a new YouTube folder because over here I have like a bunch of open videos that I was planning to watch, and so I'll have to watch them later. Um, that particular one that I was looking at has something to do with a $10,000 a month side hustle, which I don't believe it. And the girl that on the video is saying that she doesn't believe that you can make that much. And I don't know if she's going to tell you at the end that she makes that much. It's basically using Kindle. What do they call that? Anyways, it's instant, Kindle publishing, Kindle something publishing, where you create notebooks or you create an ebook. Even a novel, doesn't matter what it is. You upload your PDF and then you can sell these. And some people are, I guess, doing quite well. But there's tons of coloring books and notebooks and whatever. So I'm just kind of interested because that seems like quite a bit of money. Anyways, oh, you're not even seeing that. Of course, you're not seeing that because I switched to webcam already. No problemo. Anyways, here. This is what I was looking at. Not that it matters that much, but that's what I was looking at. Anyways, okay. I try to be professional, and it just it doesn't work. Anyways, um, okay. Actually, let's switch over to this. Let's actually minimize this, and then we're over here, and this is where I'll go in and let's go to your videos. Okay. Let's go to live, which it should be live now. Number 17. Can't believe it. We're on number 17. And let's click that. Let's open that. In fact, do my little test thing that I do sometimes. And it sounds like it sounds fine. And so, actually, I don't know if it's a good idea to keep that running. Make so much money. They're all selling training for it. Yeah, I know. There's tons of it, but there's also a lot of people doing it, so it must make some money somewhere. I'm imagining that most make the most that actually do make money have been doing it for quite a long time, and so they probably got an inroad and they got people that already buy from them and stuff. Imagine it's much harder for a newbie, right? Like myself. Anyways, let's copy this. Well, I don't know if copying is the right deal here. Let's go to X. I guess you'll see my X account here. And what was the fact taught you in school that has been disproven in your lifetime? Uh, I don't know. I don't remember. I'm not that interested right this second. Let's see if I can open a separate X account for like all my like game stuff, because there's a lot of political stuff on here, and you rookie, if you're listening, but if anyone else is listening and don't know, I'm conservative and conservative Christian, so there's a lot of political stuff in here about that. Not everything, but and so I kind of want a thing that's just for my yeah. I'm part of the Blender and Redot engine communities here on X, so I kind of want to separate so that I can um, 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 so that I'm following people that's just about game dev and graphics and stuff like that. It's kind of what I'm doing on my YouTube channel. My YouTube, here, let's just do this. You probably can't tell that much from here, but I got like stuff like, okay, this is synthwave stuff because I listen to the synthwave junk all the time. But this is like best-selling games of Godot games of 2024, stay at home dev, and the Marcus Picks. He does photography, and um, I have a bunch of different stupid stuff on here. How to draw exploratory sketches on tracing paper. Swinton Scott, who was an animator. I guess he worked on some Disney stuff. But yeah, so these are like my interests. And then I got my regular channel, which is where when I listen to the Bible or any preaching or political commentary, it's on my other account. And so yeah. Anyways, not that important, but I want to do the same thing here on X, I think. Anyways, let's post the stream here. Paste. Um, and I did that wrong. Let's do something else. Let's just discard it right now. Let's pull up. Actually, let's pull this up here. Okay. Okay, let's put home on new tab. Let's go back into communities. Let's back to Redot. Let's do another post. Let's paste my stream. And then let's go back over here and let's really I'm just doing this to copy the hashtags really. And they're even talking about wanting to get rid of the hashtags. Copy. And I guess well, for not for people, I guess the hashtags in general. But I do this so that people will still find my content specifically. Not that they can't find my content, but I think it would come up if more people were searching for like point and click or Redot engine or something. Anyways, so also share with the followers. Yes. Okay. Post. I'm not posting this link to Blender because this isn't about Blender at all. I mean, eventually it will have some Blender stuff in it. And honestly, I could ask them if it's okay if I posted the link to my streams on there, my game dev streams. I don't know if it would be allowed, but it's not going to have anything to do with Blender until I get like way down the line. So, and then I have this other thing called your streaming community, which I guess is not really that fruitful. 17. I have to repaste the link. Copy. Paste plain text, and I'll just leave it like that. Nobody hardly ever comes from here, I don't think. Okay, and I would also do this in Reddit, but like I don't know if it was game dev or I posted it in one or two places on Reddit, and apparently they got rejected. So I guess it's like advertising. If it's advertising, I can't do it in some channels. So I have to find some game dev channels maybe that will allow me to post my streaming my streams. Anyways, almost done. Now let's go ahead and let me check something here. Oh, yeah, the ones that make money are selling the training. I expect, although I've seen someone selling training for selling training, so who knows? Yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, most of the how to make money or how to do YouTube or whatever on YouTube are people that selling courses or have an app that you subscribe to. So I keep looking though because you know I kind of need money. That's probably why I'm doing this. Although I don't expect to actually, if I ever got anything at all through this, um, uh, yeah. So um, sometime in the future I could possibly make something from this. Who knows? If not, then not, I guess. It's that time again. Okay. Paste more game dev stuff with Redot. Blender VSE on Wednesdays and Saturdays. I'm just saying that because I'm trying to tell them they think it's okay that I post stuff in here. I asked them first, and so yeah. And again, more story, some planning, some actual game creation, a bit, and that's just a bit. And then here's game dev on AfterNet. So I'm still on AfterNet, even though I mostly moved everything to Liberia.chat, or used to be on what Freenode, and then they broke off, and so everybody went to Liberia.chat. Anyways, some dev. And more dev. And Lidum Dare, or Ludum Dare, as I like to call it sometimes. Nobody hardly ever talks about the stream at all. You know, at least in the other channels, I'll get occasional somebody talking to me about something related. Okay, so the first thing I want to do here is, okay, actually, I might want see something here. There's no recents on that. Let's see something here. Open dev stuffs projects in what's the adventure game system? That's room description. That's actual. Okay, and that's where my to do resides, I guess. Projects. Intro video notes. That's when I had notes. I had an intro video plan. Should still do an intro video because this first one that I made that I just finished up this last time on like Saturday, um, it doesn't really have an intro. It just starts right out showing you. And for anybody that doesn't know me personally or hasn't watched the streams, they might not know what I'm doing. And so maybe I should create a small intro video, possibly. We'll see, I guess. Because I'm not planning on uploading any of these updates until I get the updates done. And that might be, I don't know, a year from now, seeing how fast things are going, or how slow they're going, you might say. Okay, so this is that's the design notes. Adventure game system. This is where I put the to do. And I need to make sure that I start using the to do again. Maybe I should pull that up right now. See, I had Monday, December 16th, but I haven't actually. Okay, I was gonna have ChatGPT actually come up with a choose your own adventure based on my notes, but I don't think I'll do that now. Okay, so instead of Monday, December 16th, what are we at? We are at Monday, December 30th. So December 30th, that, and okay, so let's decide what I'm going to do right now, today. First thing I want to do is, I might use ChatGPT to help me with this, so you'll be seeing me put in crap in ChatGPT, I guess. Um, come up with a timeline, possibly in a 1 year instead of 5 year time frame. I'm just gonna stretch this out so that everything is on the screen. That would be fine. Come with a timeline, possibly in a 1 year instead of 5 year time frame. Um, so as you probably know, a couple of you know maybe, because I don't have that many people watching. I got like one or two or something, and you rookie, and then maybe somebody else, or maybe the other one that's watching is from my own stream. I don't know if YouTube is smart enough to know that I'm watching my own stream or not, but so before I was gonna give myself 5 years. Why? Because I got like 15 phases. In fact, let's see something here. Let's see if I can pull that up. Open. I suppose I could. Uh, where would the roadmap be? Let's open the game system text. I just wonder what that is. Okay, choose your own adventure, blah blah blah. Okay. Dang, I must still have that on my NTFS drive. Um Redot. It wouldn't be in there. Let's check out other locations. Let's check out Data Store. Well, let's check out Data Stack first, because I think it's just okay. That's old home, and I'm probably going to delete that here soon. Um, other locations then. Let's try Data Store, which is my NTFS drive. Dev stuff in there, and Adventure Game Steps. Let's see if that's something. That is my. I'm not sure if that's the current document though. It should say something like epsilon down here. One. Oh, this is revision epsilon. Okay. So I need to actually copy this over. I need to save it. Let's do something here. Let's do a save as. And we'll let the text editor save it correctly. Let's go to home. Let's go to dev stuff. Let's go to projects. And let's go to, do I want it in Adventure Game System? Or do I want it in Enchanted Lands itself? Let's put it in Adventure Game System, I think. Adventure Game. It's steps. We'll call it phases too. So that makes it a little bit easier too. Phases. Boom. and hopefully it saves it with the. Oh, look at that! Boy, I got it. Oh, I see. I got. Okay. Anyways, okay. So you've probably seen this before several times. Okay, so why was I pulling this up? Let's see, to do. Okay, so yeah. Now, I think in a separate document I put a deal as far as a timeline or milestone, you might say, or whatever. Basic choose your own, and then separate navigation system. And what I would end up doing is expanding out the game to have more rooms and more places to go. Um, Multiple player characters. So actually, the whole character thing itself is going to be a feat in itself, because now you'll have to be able to switch between characters and stuff. And I guess I don't know. I'll be using some sort of script or something. Um, I have visual elements, introduction of the parser, the expansion of interactivity. Because when I start this parser, what I'm going to do is okay. So like you're already going to have a separate navigation, so it's going to be north, south, east, and west, or northeast, southeast, southwest, northwest, or the cardinal directions, or something of that nature. You know, up, down, left, right, that sort of thing. Or it's a separate deal than the actual choices. So now you can have choices that doesn't include where you walk, and so a separate walking thing. Because it's going to be separate anyways. Eventually, in a point and click game, you click and then it moves somewhere, and then you manipulate inventory and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be separate anyways eventually. So I decided that this text parser, all it would do is it would recognize the only commands would be the like choice, choice one, or you just hit one, or north N S E W, or north, south, east, and west. And, it might have all the different uh, the different directions, but or maybe you'll have a move command or something. But I wasn't going to do this. This is just going to be a re-implementation of the way you do choices and move directions. And then this expansion is where you can actually do stuff like pick up and look at and all that kind of stuff, more specific. But no inventory yet, because the inventory is not until I implement an inventory system. And there's a possibility I might should switch them around, right? This expansion of interactivity, maybe I should have an inventory system, because I already have player characters. I already have like separate characters. I don't have NPCs in there, but I'll be making the game have NPCs. How do I say it? Anyways, non-player characters later. But so you'll be able to do inventory with individual deals, and then maybe I should expand my parser after the expansion of interactivity. Allow players to collect and manage items. Inventory system allow collect, manage, and use items found throughout the game. Implement commands for manipulating the inventory, such as take, drop, use, and examine. And maybe these two should actually be combined, because I was going to add more stuff, but adding more stuff is going to be like this, right? So that you can actually manipulate the world instead of just. Might do that. Might do that. I'll have to change it. I'll have to combine. Um, well, I don't know. Maybe what I should do is, because I have a basic text parser, uh, like I said, maybe I should swap these. These should be swapped. Um, that might be a better idea. Anyways, so I have all these phases, right? And by the time we're at 15 character movement, we'll actually have characters on screen. You'll be able to click places. Um, you still might have text descriptions maybe, because of like if it's silent, you're still gonna need text description. Well, you won't necessarily need text descriptions, so that might be completely gone. It might be all just visuals, visuals, and and that's 15 phases here. And so I was gonna give myself a 5-year time frame to, and then maybe 1 year. I'm back with coffee. I see. Awesome. Or if you're talking about me, no, you must have left for coffee, huh, Rook? Um, okay, so the deal here is I was giving myself a 5-year time frame. Why? Because I'm not focusing on releasing a sellable game. Not that I don't want it to sell or want it to be played. What I mean is I'm not going to be focusing on that aspect of it. Like marketing. Well, marketing is kind of is kind of built in. I mean, essentially, this vlog is going to be marketing, right? So yeah. So but basically, it's so I don't have the stress of trying to make a sellable game or whatever. I can just focus on making the game I want to make. So the videos are kind of the point, right? So that maybe sometime down the line, people would want to support me, and then they would support me of their own free will, kind of thing. And it wouldn't be like me selling the game. I might not even sell the game. I might just give it away for free, because the point is actually the videos and the making of it. I might not too. I might put it. I might have it sold or whatever. Anybody that's watching this isn't. They're gonna see tons of spoilers, so you may or may not be interested in playing it anyways. By the end. Anyways, that's I'm. You know how I always go off on a tangent and stuff. I have a habit of doing that, I guess. Okay, um, so this is going to be a long, long time frame. I figured 5 years would be good. This is the what I wanted to do back when I was 45, and I'm 49 now. So now it's going to be 55 before I get this stupid thing done. But one of the things I was thinking of was we're at a new year for one thing. For the other thing is maybe I can make progress really fast. Now that means that um, quality might suffer a little bit. But then again, that doesn't mean it's not something that I can fix like later, right? The point being, try to get it done as fast as I can, everything working as fast as I can. Then maybe later I can uh, um, go at ease, basically. You know, for a YouTube channel to be successful, it needs at least a year. And several videos. Actually, that's not entirely true. I had something like 600 videos. They were all crap, obviously, but I had tons and tons of videos. You'd think I'd have tons of subscribers. I have 138 subscribers, or 100 and something subscribers, and 130 something, anyways. And my view counts are not that great, but then again, not many people are watching, right? And where was I going with this? Yeah. You kind of. I was at first. I was saying you need like a lot of videos, and you need at least a year before things start getting going, right? Before I get a ton of subscribers, and obviously quantity doesn't cut it. You know, quality does matter somewhat. Consistency does matter somewhat. Quantity kind of matters in some cases, as long as you're consistent and have a decent enough quality of your videos. Um, so yeah. In fact, I've seen several. There's several YouTubers like one's doing Blender, one's doing programming or whatever, and they only have like 9 or 10, and they've only been running for a few months, sometimes up to a year, but they've only have like way few videos, but they have tons of views and they got tons of subscribers, and you're like, where the heck are they getting these from? I've been on this thing since 2006, 2007. I've been on YouTube. Of course, I didn't really get going until like later. You're talking 2015. You're talking, you know, so way later than when I was first on it. But actually making videos, and you'd think I'd have a few more than I do now. That isn't the case. That's not the way it works, I guess. I think it's partly to do with content is king. Yeah, but this type and style, and there's a lot of factors that go into the content. In other words, I've seen things with really good content. The videos are snappy, they're informative, but they're also entertaining. Um, or sometimes they're really well produced or whatever, and you're like, why does this person have more views? And then somebody puts junk on, and then you're just like, how come they have so many views and subscribers? They only have a few videos and they're crap or they're average videos. So it's kind of like a crapshoot. But I'm thinking YouTube or Google promote stuff that they think makes the money. So that's why you have your Mr. Beast and your, PewDiePie, even though PewDiePie is like from way back, and you have all these different guys. It's because they're promoting their specific channels. They're not just doing it. It's not organic. Nothing on YouTube is organic now. Because if it was organic, I think there'd be different uh, uh, videos, different types of content that would be that would be being popular right now. It wouldn't be the same stuff over and over again. It wouldn't be the same certain individuals when somebody else does exactly the same and is just as good. So it's a more or less a crapshoot. That's why I need to start putting stuff on to Rumble and whatever other video sites. The only thing is I can't stream on Rumble. At least I can't stream on Rumble and YouTube at the same time. And YouTube is still where the people are. So that's where these video updates come in. And if I can edit fast enough to show my progress, then I think I could be successful on like Rumble or whatever. Anyways, let's get back to what I'm trying to do. I don't want to minimize that. Let's see. What I want to do is, what am I doing here? Okay. All right, let's go back to do. All right, wasting time. I wonder if I should. Do I need this record my to do, or does that really matter? The to do list might not matter as far as recording goes. Here, I'll start recording. Let's see. I'll record for a little while, anyways. For progress. Okay, so come up with a timeline, possibly in a year. So yeah. Okay. So I was watching a video, and somebody was talking about how did they say this? Uh, Oh yeah, they were talking about like your goals or whatever have to do with YouTube, I guess. And one is like a goal that you like to do that's reasonable that you can get done in a certain time. And then the other thing, and he called that a 1x goal. And then he called it something called the 10x goal, which basically meant that it's like an impossible goal that you couldn't possibly hope to actually fulfill, even though you're working toward it. And that the idea is that you'll learn a lot, you'll do a lot more if you have this other goal that's seemingly impossible. Like I've always advocated the use of doing the big project. You know how they always say, don't build a massively multiplayer online role playing game, right? MMORPG or whatever that is. I forget now. Not to do that. when you're just starting out. And I'm always of the opinion that you can go the small small program route, and you get your bearings and you learn how to do stuff, and eventually you'll build up enough skills to be able to make your big game, right? But I'm of the opinion that you you could also excel if you start with the big impossible project and you do it. Even if you fail, you will have learned a lot more if you would have just stayed in, making Pong or something, right? Not that you don't need to when you're beginner, like a beginner, like you're still learning programming and stuff. But after you know some coding and stuff and know how to put a program together and all that, I think you should be able to go as big as you want to go. Keeping in mind that you might not finish it, but then again, you might. And so my thought is that it's this there's this saying, like, aim for the stars and hit the moon, right? The idea is you're reaching farther. In fact, it's also about how you progress. If you're reading like self help, watch some of these videos or whatever, where they talk about doing something that's just outside your comfort zone, or something that just beyond your knowledge, trying to do something that's difficult for you instead of what's comfortable and easy for you to do. Like, I can make a Pong game, I can make Tetris, and I can make, I can do stuff like that. I could probably make a hidden object game fairly easily, a one room hidden object game, right? I could do that pretty easy. That's not going to make me learn anything or help me figure out how to do a bigger project. So what do? I make something bigger than that. I have something with more than one room. I have something multiple levels. Something that has more for lack of a better word, AI. I know we used to say AI when we're talking about constructing like enemy behaviors or something. So this is like kind of old school AI of making your game agents appear to think. So, um, and then this game has just been in my head for years and years, and so I gotta make it. I gotta make it. I can't waste my time doing stupid little clones and stuff. I gotta work on this, or else it's never gonna get done. It just isn't. I'm never gonna go do the thing I want to do. Not that I couldn't figure out a way. I could make a bunch of little games that concern my story's characters or something, or um, you know, the mechanics. Like, I want eventually, I might do a pie menu. I might make a game where it's reliant on a pie menu, but the game isn't that big. But that still wouldn't be a progress towards my game. It would just be a progress towards something that I can use or might use in my game. So, anyways, so I was just thinking of this impossible goal thing, and I was going, 5 years sounds reasonable. 1 year sounds more impossible. Yeah, yeah, snake, exactly. I could make a snake. Actually, I haven't made a snake before, so I imagine there'll be some things in it that I never thought about it, and so I'd be brute forcing it, and probably wouldn't be able to do it very quickly. I could do it quicker than a beginner, but maybe not as quick as like you could or something, maybe. But in any case, yeah, I know I could make a snake game fairly easily, fairly quickly, and finish it. But that isn't anywhere uh, approaching my game. My game still doesn't get made. And really, what I should have done is I should have made this game in 2005 when I thought up the story. I should have just made it in AGS, and I should have just did it the regular way and had one player character and used their standard AI, and I would have had the game done. It might not have made that big of an impression. It might not have been as good or something, maybe, but at least it would have been done. Anyways, so I'm thinking, okay, let's see if I can compress all of this into a year. For me, it's probably more like impossible to do that. However, what if I schedule it for a year and it takes me 2 years. Well, that's still shorter than 5 years, which I would have allowed myself. And you know how work always expands to the time given to it, right? So if I would have given myself 5 years, it would take 5 years. If I give myself 1 year, it would at least take a year. But then again, it might take longer than that. Maybe it'll take 2 years, but maybe it'll only take 2 years, right? That sort of thing. And also, you got to realize that it's kind of like I said, it's a diamond is formed from heat and pressure, right? So it turns from coal into diamond with heat and pressure and time, I guess. Um, and That's why the stuff that you like the best, the movies, the comics, the cartoons, whatever it is, toys, I don't know, whatever, is when they had books, novels, is when they had restrictions placed on them. It doesn't have to be an arbitrary time restriction, but it can be for instance, the fact that Tolkien wanted to put the Lord of the Rings in like one volume, and they were thinking the publishers were thinking that is too long, that they would never, I don't know, like read it in that. So he compromised by making them into 6 volumes in 3 books, right? And and I'm sure that made him have to think a different way. He had to think, you know, a different, logically, you have to think differently. If you have this much space to fill and you write stuff, when you have to put chapter breaks in it, you're gonna have to decide what falls on a chapter break. How long is your chapter going to be? How long is your section going to be? So you can bet that some of that actually helped Lord of the Rings be better. I bet you if you would have been able to do it in a single volume like you wanted to, I bet you it wouldn't be quite as good. It's kind of like why now if you're younger than me, if you're 15, 20 years younger than me, you might not think this. You might love the Star Wars prequels, but the Star Wars prequels were not near as good as the originals. Why? Because the originals he had distinct limitations. Originally, he had a budget limitation and a time limitation, and in fact, they had a rough edit um, that somebody had made, and it was terrible according to George Lucas. It was horrible. So he had to get it recut um, before he could show it to somebody. And I guess they had like a shortened time frame and got somebody else, and him and this other guy recut Star Wars, the original Star Wars, and that's almost kind of the cut that we got in the theater. And the same thing with the makeup effects. Didn't have near as much money and time to do all the different alien races and all the spaceships in the sky and all the cool stuff. He wanted to make Mos Eisley like this bustling spaceport, and he could only get in a few things. He also had a better crew, less authority, and seasoned stage actors. Well, the seasoned stage actor, at least in the original Star Wars, was just basically Peter Cushing and um, why can't I think of his name? Why can't I think of Obi-Wan's actual name? Sir Alec Guinness. There we go. So um, I don't know. Did Peter Cushing get like a knighthood or something, or an OBE or anything? I don't know if he did or not. But Sir Alec Guinness and Peter Cushing, were the only real veteran actors. The rest of them were kind of new kids and basically and stuff. Harrison Ford, even though he wasn't a kid, he was in his 30s. He hadn't done all that much acting. He's done it. He did a few TV things. Of course, he did American Graffiti, and before I guess he did a number of odd jobs, including being a like a carpenter at one point. So so that's not really the deal. In fact, a lot of people don't like Mark Hamill's acting in the original Star Wars. Think he's too whiny and stuff. And I can kind of see that. But I was a kid, I was a baby when it came out, and so I've grew up with Mark Hamill's portrayal of Luke, the original Luke. Not I don't mean the new stuff. But anyways, so basically, he had a limited budget. Lucas had a limited budget, limited time, uh, not as many resources. In fact, all the studios rejected him except for Alan Ladd Jr.'s company that got Fox to distribute it, and so it became one of the the biggest movies ever. It was the big turning point. It had lines all the way around the block for a year after it was out, and all kinds of stuff. And then now, when it came to Empire, Empire was sort of the same thing, although he had a lot more leeway in that, and that Star Wars was so successful that he was able to kind of build his own, his own studio and whatever. And but he still had that. See, the thing that was different about Empire versus Star Wars is Star Wars. He wrote and directed himself. He had some co-writers help rewrite his screenplay and stuff. He did some of the editing himself. He did lots of stuff himself that he got almost burned out. So in Empire, he had people helping him, um, and so when you have more people in the mix, you have more pulling, and that can still come up with something good. Why? Because there's this kind of stress, this kind of pressure to make everybody happy and everybody putting in their ideas and stuff. And you can have too many of that, and you can have too much of that, and that can be bad too. But he still had a bit of a pressure. In fact, he had Star Wars to live up to, for one thing. So audience pressure, because now they had this super successful deal. He maybe had the money now, but now he's pressured to do something better. And then and still special effects, even though he basically ILM basically invented the special effects. They were still inventing new special effects, new techniques, new whatever, right? And it was still on film. It was all optical, and there wasn't any real computer usage. Yeah, I know. The Death Star plan, the briefing scene in the original Star Wars was actually filmed on a computer's display. Um, and of course, we had rudimentary CG graphics in Return of the Jedi. But so basically, he still had the pressure. When it came to the prequels, now he had all the money he wanted. He had all the yes men he wanted. So anything he wanted to do, he could do. You couldn't. There couldn't be anybody telling him no, you can't do this, and that's what he did. In fact, Liam Neeson claimed that he was never going to act again. Uh, Supposedly, he was retiring from acting because of his experience on The Phantom Menace, because he wasn't allowed to do any acting. It was George Lucas telling him, they did multiple takes and then they added the takes together, and so he was unhappy with his thing about acting, and then yeah, so 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 I okay. So let's bring this back to my game. I guess it's just you and me talking. Hopefully there's some more people listening, but that's okay if they're not. But okay, so I'm going. Well, I could do this 5 year thing and it would be good. And I did want to kind of be relaxed and unpressured, but this is a different kind of, I guess, pressure. It'd be me do on myself. In other words, I'm not actually pressured by anybody or anything, or trying to make a selling, like again, like a selling game, like trying to do anything that everybody wants by going out there playing a bunch of the games and then talking to a bunch of people and seeing what they like in an adventure game and blah blah blah, and then developing it through that, because that would be not my game. It would be the public's game, which is fine. I would hope people like this. But if I gave myself a limitation, I might could come up with something better. Like I said, the quality at first wouldn't be as quite as good, right? Because of how much time I have to take everything. But if I got this thing rolling right and I got it completed and it was completed, then any actual quality problems, like if I had to hire a background artist or a texture artist or whatever it is when the finished game is, that it would actually be really good, and it would be done in a reasonable amount of time that ways. So that's what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of possibly doing it in 1 year instead of 5 years. It may take longer than a year, obviously, because you can't. You, it's that thing of where you estimate the time that you think you'll need, and then you have to multiply it by 3 times at least to get somewhere close to the time you actually need. But I mean, that's okay. Maybe I need twice as much. Maybe I need 3 times as much. Maybe it'll be 3 years. Maybe it won't be 3 years. Maybe this will just happen so quickly that the only time that I actually take is actually making content. That is maybe doing animations and stuff. And then that case, by the time I get to those phases, remember the phase. So, okay, visual auditory feedback for scene interactions with clickable hotspots. So by the time I'm up in these phases, uh, and I have a completely working game, I have several versions of a completely working game that I only have to do a little bit, then maybe I'll have some money by that time to go and hire an artist or an animator or something, right? And so it might be better if I compress my time down at least. So yeah, I know I spent a lot of time already. In fact, let's check OBS here. There I am, Infinite Me's here. So I've been streaming for how long have I been streaming? For an hour. I guess I've been talking for an hour, huh? Anyways, let's actually get to doing something here. Come up timeline possibly 1 year instead of a 5 year time frame. Okay. Uh, what else was I going to do? I was thinking of the other day. I was thinking of redoing my outline, my story outline. That would be the main one. It wouldn't be all the individual character ones. So that I would have a decent framework to actually build my narrative version from. The narrative would be like a short story version of the daily that I would then make into the actual game itself. So, come up with a timeline, okay, and then let's see. I could just continue on with the story, I guess. I got some more story. Uh, add more story to the narrative version, and then, I mean, there's nothing specific here. Add a few more rooms to the actual game. Okay, that's not a lot of to-do lists, but maybe that'll work. Hold on a second, I got it. Oh, my this is part of my case. Actually, it was my dad's old case for my phone. So now my phone is missing a piece. My phone case is missing a piece. It needs a new phone case here. Falling apart. Um, okay, that's just mom. Hold on a second. Doing okay. I can just tell her I'm busy right now. Uh, just a sec. See, working. Working. I'm trying to use a stupid swipe keyboard and it works like crap. Busy working on game. On a live stream. Right now. Man, it's a pain in the butt. I had we used to have an LG G3 cell phone. In fact, I still have it. It's sitting over here. The kind with the removable battery, like you used to remove the batteries. and replace them. And it had a swipe keyboard on it also, but for some reason it seemed to work way better. You know, I do the thing, and even if I didn't get the thing on the right deal, it somehow learned how I did stuff and was able to come up with whatever words I was trying to come up with. But the swipe keyboard on this Samsung phone, it just sucks horribly. Plug in a keyboard and mouse. Yeah, I should, huh? I mean, I could even get a mini Bluetooth keyboard. That's what phones should have. They should have the keyboards back. Remember the pop? Some of those phones had the pop out keyboards. Even the BlackBerry, although it looked kind of clunky, even those are useful. Actual physical buttons are useful. What's up with the What's up with the stupid removing the bezels? You know, now I sometimes I'm hitting something or sometimes I'm holding it and I'm trying to touch the screen, and but because I'm already touching the screen, it screws up like I'm playing a game or something, and it screws up the move because it doesn't work because I'm already touching the screen, you know, and it's not a multi-touch game. I have one for mine if I need to do any serious typing. Yeah, yeah, that's probably a good idea. I probably should get that. When I have the money, of course. I do have some birthday money, but also have some things that I need to get instead. So probably a mini keyboard for my phone probably isn't something that I can do right now. But what happened to having just old fashioned buttons on the bezel, and you know when you have a case, the the case essentially has bezels on it in a sense. There, you know, it's a raised surface around the edge of it, right? And so when you drop it, in fact, I've dropped my phone several times on on the front where the screen is, but because the case is protecting it, and I don't even have a screen protector in there. But when I drop it, it always lifts it off the ground, so it never cracks the screen. It never hurts the screen, you know. And if they put the bezels on the phones and they put buttons on there, you could play games with buttons, you know, like you do with a controller, anyways. You know, sometimes you buy those aftermarket Bluetooth game controllers. You fit the phone in there and then you play it. Well, why not just put the stupid buttons on this dang phone so we can actually use buttons and then have a pop-out keyboard like some of those older phones did, so you can type stuff. I mean, I don't see how that's so hard. I don't see why the companies have to do this thing of removing the bezels and not giving you any buttons and doing this touchscreen. Touchscreen's annoying, like way annoying, because you can just easily touch your thing. And in fact, I've set off my stupid 911 call thing, which in the U.S. 911 is the emergency number. Um, and so I've had to figure out how to cancel the stupid thing because it's turned on in my pocket. Just because I was some was pressing against it and it caused the thing to come up, and then it would be the exact same position as the emergency call thing. And I mean, I don't know, it's annoying to me. Have an emergency button on the back so that now if you have a button on the back, you could accidentally press it, and that can be annoying. But if it was something that you have to hold in and you have to hold in hard, well, I don't know. The emergency thing is still its own thing, so maybe not. Anywho, let's get back to the deal here. So I'm actually going to go ahead and use ChatGPT, I think, again. Yes. Let's use it here. Current. I have billions of bookmarks that I never use. And I don't mean that I don't go to some of these websites. I mean, I don't actually use the bookmarks because it's usually faster to type in a lot of cases. Um, except for when I bookmarked ChatGPT, it's always just a moment. Anyways, adventure game evolution. I think that's the deal. I have a short window. Okay. Uh, revision epsilon. I have introduction of parser and expansion of interactivity, and then adding inventory system. So I think I'm going to do it the other way around because I have a basic parser. That means I can put commands in it. If I do that instead of this part, the actual expansion part is this part. So that'll be the first thing I'll do. Okay. So what is after? What's the next Greek letter after epsilon? Let's see. Zeta. Huh. Look at the Greek alphabet here. Look at this picture here. Or, I guess it's Wikipedia. Uh, Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, eta, whatever. Iota, iota. Kappa, lambda, mu, nu, g, omicron, pi, rho, sigma, tau, epsilon, phi, chi, psi, omega. Interesting. So zeta is actually afterwards. Okay, that's cool, I guess. Uh, Greek alphabet. Mm-mm-mm. The Ionic based Euclidean alphabet with 24 letters from alpha to omega have become standard to. Uh, it's kind of interesting. 24 letters. We have 26 letters. That's interesting. Okay, so zeta would be the next one, huh? All right. Let's go to ChatGPT. Okay, so take step 6 and 7 and swap them. Phases 6 and 7 and swap them so that 6 is inventory and 7 is expanded interactivity, and call this, okay, and call this new revision revision zeta. See if it does it. Can you do it? See, it's having a time, and I think it's just because I don't know if it's because the memory or what. See, it's taking forever just to do this, and it might be just because of how big the conversation is. When I ask it, it claims that it doesn't matter, right? But it clearly matters because if it didn't, this would be super snappy. And it isn't because I am on the free version. It's not being slow. It's having a time doing stuff. See, if you notice, the way it actually spit it out was quick. Okay, so direction parser, implementation of inventory system, 7 expansion of interactivity, puzzle design. Okay, excellent, excellent. Okay, and development roadmap revision zeta. And actually, let's see. I do have a copy thing. Let's copy that. Let's copy that. Let's put that. Oh, not LibreOffice. Doggone it. Well, that's okay. Let's open. Oh, which one is it? Which one is it? Clear list. Okay. Um, Open documents. Where where is this at? Good documents. Okay. Interesting. What? Okay. Whatever. Projects, Genlands, design notes. And we'll go ahead and go all the way down here because later I think I will go ahead and put that in there. Okay, let's go back to the text editor here. And let's go to phases. And let's just go ahead and add this. Here's revision. Okay, development roadmap. Revision Zeta. 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I need to actually take this too. And let's go ahead and cut this up too. And I'm gonna go ahead and add this to my paste bin. Update and edit my paste bin here. See? And let's go ahead and go to browser window. And let's go to pastebin.com. And new development roadmap. 211 days ago. That's a long time ago now. Shoot, I didn't know I'd started doing this then. Enchanted Lands timeline. Look at that, 5 years ago. I should look at that and see how things have changed here. Okay, let's go ahead and edit this and select all and paste. And there we go. And let's go ahead and update it. Save changes. Okay. Anyways, like I said, let's look at my timeline here. What did I have in the timeline? 5-year time frame, which is what I was gonna do. And that's why my last videos were actually from 5 years ago. It's hard to believe that it's been that long. Almost as long as I've been here, almost as long as I've been here in the city that I'm currently in Florida. We changed locations. We moved cities. 5-year time frame. 3 years for the game itself. 2 years for ancillary testing, marketing, etc. For each game, we'll be spending for each game. I guess I was planning on multiple games. Where we start at 16 months for the first part, and 8 months for the second part, and 4 months for the third, and 2 for the fourth, and 1 for the fifth. That's interesting. I didn't know that's how I was going to do it. Because at one point I was toying on doing splitting it up into multiple games, I guess, like chapters or whatever. So I guess I'm not doing that anymore. But that is a very interesting. It's very interesting. Okay, we're now down to Zeta. All right. Okay, let's go back to the to-do. Here, I guess save that. Let's go back to the to-do. And okay, I haven't actually done the timeline yet. All right. That's what I'm supposed to be working on now. Okay. Okay. Could you give me a guesstimate? And it can make guesstimates, which is practically what it's doing anyways. On the time I should spend on each phase. When considering a 1-year time frame. we'll see what that comes up with. If you're aiming to complete the project within 1 year, 12 months, we can divide the time across 15 phases while accounting for their complexity and dependencies. Here's a rough guesstimate for each phase. Okay. This is what it's estimating. I don't know if I could do that. 11.5 months. Leaves about 2 weeks of buffer for final adjustments, unforeseen delays, extra polish. Align with your expectations. Okay. Like any adjustments for any specific phase. Well, let's see here. See what it comes up with. So, the basic choose your own style game for 4 weeks. Initial foundational work, implementing narrative and decision points, and ensuring all branches function properly. 4 weeks, okay. Navigation system, 3 weeks. Developing and testing a navigation system is slightly simpler once the framework is set. And it's actually going to be quite a bit simpler because all I'm going to do is I'm going to add those actions in there. And then I'm going to update. Well, I mean, it still could take 3 weeks. It depends on how many rooms I have in the game, actual game. Because the game is going to be finished. But, yeah. Multiple player characters. 3 weeks. Defining characters and switching mechanics is manageable with clear designs. Add audiovisual elements. Doesn't require heavy technical integration at this stage. Yeah, 2 weeks. That's about right. Because all I'm going to do is I'm going to add some background music, like the public domain, classical maybe, I don't know, and a few scant images that go along with some of the rooms. I don't think every room will have a description, will have an image associated with it. It will be very big, and I'm still deciding whether or not just to add an image to the UI or whether I should actually start with the whole 3D sprites. Learn how to use 3D sprites by making those, putting those up, and finding a way of putting them up in such a way that that it looks like it's 2D. You know, that it looks like I'm just placing it alongside the text. When in reality, I'm actually, putting it in the camera at a position according to the camera. So, okay, 2 weeks, that's all right. I don't know if I can get this whole thing done in 4 weeks. Really don't. Because I still have to come up with a lot of the story stuff, and then I have to come up with all the rooms and all the choices, and I hope to be short and quick, but it might not be short and quick. And my stupid blanket's coming down. I guess I don't care. I guess I'll leave it until my break, and then I'll readjust it. I'm not trying to hide my gaming chair. Anyways, okay, so the multiple player characters, 3 weeks. Okay, that's all right. Audiovisual to me. Introduction of a parser. Developing parser requires more time due to input handling and testing various command scenarios. That is kind of true. The actual parser itself wouldn't probably be that difficult. It's just a verb, like a verb object thing, right? Like look sky, or look ground, or look castle, or whatever. And actually, I keep forgetting the parser. All it's going to be is going to accept 1 through 0. 0 is still the exit. Yeah, and at the point of doing the parser, it's no longer going to accept the key press, the action press. So I'm going to have to completely rewrite the thing that actually checks the input. Okay, let's take this off. So then and in fact, it won't even seem that much different, right? Because what you're going to do is you're going to hit 1, or you're going to hit 2, and it's going to go there just like it did before, except for it's under the hood. It's going to be a different mechanism. So that probably won't even take that long. Except like I said, the navigation system will already be in there, so the parser will be able to accept the move commands. And yeah, and I kind of understand too why like in a lot of the text adventures, you can do south, you can do S or south or whatever. And but I also understand that S can mean anything, you know. So I could have different inventory items in S. So if I have a command like move, maybe I should do it like a basic functional. Like when I expand the interactivity, like I'll have MO and then space and S, right? So MO would be move, would be the action, and south would be the object of the move action. So you maybe you wouldn't be able to do move south per se, but MO space S you could do that, right? But then when I come down to the interactivity thing, then I can change that to include move, move south, whatever, or just plain south, or whatever it is, and that's how I can work that. Anyways, not that important. Let's see what we got here. Parsers 4 weeks. Inventory system relatively straightforward, especially in the early stages. That's kind of true. I'll already have the parser in there, so I'll be able to add commands. Um, and making them like 2 letter and single letter commands is just to keep it short. In other words, I won't have bunches of different commands. I won't have I won't have move south, mo dash s, mo dash south, s for south. It'll just be the 2 commands, and then later on I can add the extra stuff. Okay, expansion 3 weeks. Significant but manageable effort. I might even need 3 weeks for that. Maybe 4 weeks. Uh, yeah, that's gonna need more. Create background scene visuals. Should be efficient if assets are prepared. Creation of clickable hotspots, including the navigation system. 3 weeks. Create visual and auditory feedback for scene interactions. 2 weeks. UI design and implementation. 3 weeks. NPCs as separate objects. 3 weeks. Make inventory system interactive. Right, 2 weeks. Character movement. Right. Okay. So let me think here. What would I think needs to take more? Or should I take this as is? Like, what would you think? Uh, would you think that, where's the deal? Where's the thing? You know the thing. Let's see. My game chair is a big comfy armchair. Yeah, in actuality, these aren't very comfortable. My dad has a real problem. He bought a different color one, but it's the same chair as I got here. Because it was kind of on sale, and we were thinking gaming chairs are meant for gamers that play a long time, and I don't know. It'd probably be better to get like an office chair, even if you're gaming, because office chairs are built for long periods of time sitting in your chair. It has this cool, like, I can recline like that. I'm sure you can in an armchair. You can get a recliner, but I can recline here. I can swivel. It's got a little stool thing on the bottom, and like a footstool thing. It's not very effective because it doesn't extend all the way out to where my feet are. But yeah. Anyways, need to get a new one of these, I think. But anyways, so I guess Rook, since you're the only one that's responding, assuming maybe you're even the only one that's listening, what would you think? Should I follow the Chat GPT recommendation? Free office chairs are good, comfy, cheap, and durable. Yeah. Um. Do you think I should try to think and modify this time schedule thing, or should I just go with whatever ChatGPT gives me and then just try to work within it? Like I said, it might take longer than a year. I mean, it should, in all practicality, it should take longer than this time frame. But this might be what I'm shooting for. Navigation system. Let's see, player characters. Player characters might take a little. That's probably okay too. But visual elements, introduction of parser, inventory system expansion. Puzzle is 4 weeks. That's all right. That takes a while. Backgrounds and scene visuals might take a little while though. I mean, I'll have some of these little images that appear in the earlier phase 4. I'll actually be developing the full blown backgrounds, and they'll be 2D backgrounds, and I'll probably be doing it in pieces because eventually they're going to be 3D models. It's going to be textured and stuff. But for the time being, they'll be just be 2D images. In which case, I'm also probably going to implement them as 3D sprites as well. So that might need to take more. If I set that to 4 weeks, what would I reduce to make up for that shortfall there? Clickable hotspots. That shouldn't be too much because at this point it's still a parser-based game. It has graphics now, but it is still parser-based. Okay. Here's some clickable hotspots. If I already have the graphics, I shouldn't need the. Okay. So we're gonna say let's reduce reducey. Let's reduce creation of clickable hotspots to 2 weeks. Then reduce visual and auditory feedback for scene interactions. That's short too. UI design is another one that's going to actually need more time. NPCs as separate objects. PCs separate objects. I should put the number here because I need to be very explicit when it comes to ChatGPT. Creation of clickable hotspots and also to 2 weeks. And then add 2 weeks to 9 backgrounds and scene visuals. Not to 9, to 4. Oh, no, add 2 weeks to number 9. Background and scene visuals. Okay, let's see if it'll do that. Assuming. Okay. Okay, so let's see if it reads right. Increased by 2 weeks. Time estimate 4 weeks. Creation clickable hotspots, including navigation system. Time estimate 2 weeks. Right? Because that won't take as long. NBCs at separate objects by 2 weeks. Okay. Inventory system interactive. That's not going to take long. Character movement. Character movement is a little iffy because the movement part is not going to take that long. The actual thing that's going to take long is the content to that. So that's probably fine. UI design and implementation might need a bit more tweaking. But that means I have to borrow from somewhere. Expansion of interactivity. Let's reduce number 7 from 3 weeks to 2. And what was I going to change? Oh, yeah. And 12. And increase 12. From 3 weeks to 4. Hopefully it'll still let me do it. Okay. Okay. Anything else? Anything else? Navigation system. Multiple player characters. That's all right. Introduction of parser. Okay, 4 weeks. That's all right. Inventory system, 3 weeks. All right. Now, what would we call this? A milestone schedule? Let's call this milestone schedule schedule A. Let's call this milestone schedule A. Or MSA for short. Whenever I say MSA or schedule A or milestone schedule A, you'll know I mean it's this one. You can still call it the full name, but which is milestone schedule A. Got it. Milestone schedule A is now established as the finalized timeline for your project. Okay. Alrighty. Please list MSA. Okay. Hopefully it's still hopefully it's still working. Okay. I could actually do the voice thing, except for it's only on the 4.0 or whatever. In other words, I'd be limited to how much I could use it. Okay. Okay, let's copy this. we'll call it phase 1 instead of step 1 because phase more accurately describes what I'm doing. They're each going to be complete games, although the earlier phases are shorter, smaller. Okay, it's memory updated. I don't know. It can say what it wants to say. I understood each phase will represent complete iteration or game build. Let me know when you're ready to focus on phase 1 or any other specific text. Now that's good. Now, I copied this. I don't know if I already copied it, but let us go to, let's go to this. No, that's the, okay. Let's go to the phases. And we're going to, I'm going to put this, I'm going to put the milestone schedule into the phases. Actually, I could combine it. No, I'll leave it like this. This is fine. Schedule B. Okay. Total time. So, milestone schedule A. Alrighty. So that means that I need to essentially complete this in 4 weeks. And I can count, even though I've already started, I'm going to go ahead and count it from, we're going to count it for 2025. So officially, even though I'll be doing a few more things today and tomorrow, officially I'll be starting Wednesday or Tuesday, actually Tuesday, on this actual milestone. So 4 weeks will be all of January of 2025 that ways. So I'll do this and then let's save that. Okay. All right. So let's go back to the to-do list. It's about time for a break, wouldn't you say? Let's do that. Okay, add more story to the narrative version. And that won't take that long, and neither will adding a couple of rooms. Okay. So let's switch to webcam. Okay, there we go. ChatGPT is only good for looking up foreign swear words. It would struggle knowing how fast you work on particular things, probably just giving you a hallucinated industry standard for professionals. In your project directory and in Git 2, what about my project directory in Git? Um, I actually added my project. I don't know if you watched that the last time. I did actually add my my project to GitHub. I did it kind of manually. I did it based on the local directory, and then it uploaded to GitHub using the GitHub desktop app, and so that works pretty well. And whenever I change the app in the daily, I can go and commit. In fact, I haven't actually committed the changes or anything. I guess I kind of have to do that manually because it's not integrated or nothing. So actually, that would not be a bad idea to go in there right now and change file. Okay, change it. That's interesting. Changes. Is that the only thing that was changed? I thought I changed a couple of things. I don't know if it went ahead and Room manager. I guess. Oh, I guess I see. It's the scene file. It's the actual scene, the room manager scene. Uh, and it's not even the script, I guess. I changed a whole bunch of stuff, so I wonder how come it didn't commit everything or something. I don't know. That's weird. Some rooms and things. And okay, and some of the text, I guess. Oh, weird. Okay. Commit to main. Yeah, one local commit waiting to be pushed to GitHub. Okay. Your documentation, including your schedule. Oh, no, but I should probably do that, I suppose. Um, yeah, I guess it just means I'll have to add those files there. Maybe I'll do that in a little bit. But this is weird because I did some changes. Maybe I had already committed some of these changes already though. So that's kind of interesting to me. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I'll just leave that up. Okay, so I guess I should go ahead and do that. Um, my roadmap is actually on Pastebin, and then it's also in a text file. And then of course the milestone schedule I actually put into the roadmap document. So I guess I could just put that into my project folder, and maybe that'll work. Okay. I almost could do my to do that way also. Would that should that be in just in the Redot project folder, or should I actually have a separate like a separate GitHub entry? It won't have any code in it, but it'll have the documents and stuff. Maybe I should put the all the documents into maybe I might should do that. Get the GitHub desktop app will handle the actual thing of pushing and committing and stuff. So maybe that's what I'll do instead of yeah. In fact, maybe I'll do the whole project folder into GitHub that ways. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense, right? Anyways, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take my break here. So I'll see you when I come back from the break, whenever that is. Hopefully it'll just be a short time. Okay. Back from break, and I actually don't have that much time left. 45. Let's do something real quick. Let's go into the to do. We already marked that. That's good. Okay. Yeah, almost 4 o'clock. Um, I'm going to take a slight detour and see if there is a way. Okay, then this one. This is the. There we go. This one, and see if there's a way to migrate a project to another folder. Okay. Uh, folder, and then GitHub. Let's see. Not hard drive, but I already have it in GitHub repository. How do I do that? How do I how do I do that? Basically, I want to put my project in a different folder. Actually, I want to actually add all the folders, so I might have to do it as a separate project. Um, I guess I'd have to probably remove the project from GitHub, and then I don't know if I'd have to remove the project from GitHub, but I don't know if there's a way to easily migrate. Back it up. Move the project files. Physically move the project files from the original location to the new location on your hard drive. This will update the file system structure but not affect the Git repository. Update the Git working directory. Navigate to the new location and initialize a new Git repository using Git init. This will create a new Git folder and update the Git configuration. Link the new repository to the existing remote. Run git remote, add origin to new local repository. Replace original Git repo. Here, let's switch to this. I just did a search on the deal. Move the project from the original location to the new location on your hard drive. This will update the file system structure, but not the Git repository. Update the Git working directory. Navigate to the new location. Initialize the new Git repository using Git init. This will create a new Git folder and update the Git. Link the new repository to the existing remote. Connect to the new local repository, the existing remote GitHub repository. Replace the original repo with the URL of your GitHub repository. Fetch and reset. Run git fetch origin to retrieve the commit history from the remote repository. Then run git reset. Hard origin master. If your repository uses a different default branch, update the local branch to match the remote branch. That seems like a lot of work. And actually, really, if I do this, what I really would like to do is, well, maybe I just create a stupid, I guess do a copy of my document in the one folder, because I think each phase is going to be its own repository. I think. Uh, Let's how do I do this? Do that using the GitHub desktop app. There you go. Open desktop. Look the repository that pertains to your project from the list available. Physically move the project files from the current location to the new desired location on your hard drive. Make sure to preserve the folder structure and the file names. Update the repository path in GitHub. Right-click on the selected repository, choose repository settings. Location field, update the path to point to the new location of your project files. Verify the repository connection. This actually seems easier if I can do that. But the only thing is yeah, I want to enlarge the repository to include all of the projects. I'm not sure. I guess I could just I guess I could just copy the docs around. In other words, this version of phase one here. Let's see some here. Let's go to home. Let's go to dev stuff. Let's go to Redot projects. Genlands phase one. Phase one. Yeah, maybe it'd just be easier just to do that ways. Whenever I create a new daily, I'll just copy the docs into the docs folder. Actually, I'd probably be copying the folder over anyways. Git attributes, git ignore. So the git stuff is just the git folder, right? .git folder. This here, I think, is something that Redot creates because it has a deal for integrating with Git somehow. But I found using the desktop app just to be for GitHub to be like way easier. So when I create a new project, when I create phase two, I'm going to be copying all the files over. Yes. Hmm. MIT license. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, maybe that's just how I'll do it. I had to do the whole Godot project files and everything that included the key bindings and all that. That's why it didn't work at that one point because I didn't actually copy the Godot folder. I just copied the scenes and scripts, and I think so. Basically, I copy everything except for the Git folder into a new folder, and then when I go to phase two, then I create a new repository, and maybe I should just do it that ways. That might possibly be a good idea, maybe. I don't know. Let me think. Yeah, let's make sure that we're on the desktop. Uh, so this is just okay. So I have the Redot folder. That's the executable right here. Then I have a folder that I created called projects. These are the test projects that I did before with the windows and the text and all that. Um, and then this is the actual uh, the okay. So test project is actually the full thing that works with working rooms, and so it's essentially the base engine when I was testing it out, and I just manually created backups by copying these over. And then this is actually the first, the actual game itself. So I copied some of the files over, and then I created new rooms and everything in there. Um, so yeah, okay. I guess I could just, I don't know, create a docs folder, right? Shoot, I could probably do it within Redot, and I could copy all those files in there. It might be a way to do it. Okay, I'm not concerned with that right this second. What I am concerned with is this. So, all right. Let's see. That must be Princess Karen from Verdance, said Hubert. Here, I guess. Here, let's do a small recording. I guess won't matter that much because I'm not going to be here very long because it's already 4 o'clock, and so I can't really do that much in that short of time. But there must be Princess Karen from Verdant, said Hubert. I think we need to find her first, as they thought her important enough to kidnap. I'll get right on that, Chief. No doubt to help me, correct? Yeah, sure, to help you. Uh, oh, oh. It's a little innuendo joke, where John just says, "Yeah, sure, I'll get to it." And said no, and then of course Hubert says, "No doubt to help me, correct? Yeah, sure, to help you." Hubert then sends John over to night school and Princess Prep to get some answers. First thing, John, see, I don't know if relates all. I guess present. This is still present tense, right? Because up to him tells him to take a seat, which he promptly does while observing everything going on. Just then he sees. I guess so. This is all present tense, right? Okay. Um, it's just the idea is it's just a little narrative to help me figure out what I need to put in, and hopefully a short enough narrative that it doesn't take forever. Because I want to expand it in each deal. I want to expand the story more. I want to expand, you know, and each builds on the last. So John goes to night school and Princess Bride to get some answers. First thing John does is find a way to get onto the school grounds by observing the guards in various nights and notes going in and out. He divides his way in. So okay, so I put this in because this is essentially this is a note in here that's telling me some things you should be able to do in the game. And maybe the full version, maybe not the choose your own one, possibly. You might be able to do both here, so maybe I'll do both here. At this point, there are two ways in. One being you have to get to the guards to do something to let you in. John finds out the guards aren't really guards at all, but a couple of parents on the purchase with armor and holding swords. The only way to get them to shed their armor is by offering them chocolate. You can only figure this out by listening to their conversation and talking to them. The second way is to fake a badge and a suit of armor, watch the knights going in and out with their badges. You might also get the parrots to tell you a bit about the badges. After going in, he looks around and sees several tents. Several knights are walking around, even the various cliques formed on skull are on display. There are a few, it looks like to be princesses, admiring jock knights as they flex and brag. They tend to have giant letters on the back of their armor. Some are geek knights with their high-tech abacuses. Some wearing taped-up glasses over their helmets. Uh, some wearing pocket protectors on their armor. All wearing armor, and that's kind of the joke. The joke is that everybody's wearing an armor because they're at night school. Then you're going to have babe knights wearing pastel colored armor and gossiping. Some knights are sparring but seem to actually be inflicting damage on each other. Not very welcoming for tourists, but then again, you don't think you see any. Uh, Possible information that John can gather why the other schools are closed except for this. Are they actually training for real? John can ask about Princess Karen. They say she hasn't shown up, but it's okay because the school's closed. He may ask a few princesses there how to get into Princess Prep. Even though it's closed, he can ask about dragons and why they seem to be attacking villages. Night school consists of the barracks, which are in. Okay. Uh, Now, I put this. This is actually a note, and then I put this as a note, but maybe this shouldn't be a note. Maybe this is the description that you see. Night school consists of the barracks, which are in several tents, such as jousting arena, man-to-man combat arena, the mess tent where food is served, several tents for various disciplines like maiden saving, dragon slaying. There's a main tent where you enroll in night school. At the entrance to the grounds are two armored guards arguing with each other but standing in place. There are various souvenir stands and food carts around the entrance. Inside and in front of the main tent is a bare patch of ground where several groups of students loiter about. I did this as a note, but let's not do that as a note. Let's mm, several tents for various disciplines like maiden saving. Okay. Okay, so let's go back up here to looks around, see several tents. Several knights are walking around. Uh, hmm. Let's modify this a little bit. Okay. Okay, let's put this up here. Okay. To at the entrance. Okay. Let's cut that out. And let's put this up here. About the entrance. Okay. All right. In the effort to make this, here. When I put the notes up there, I put a space, didn't I? Okay. Okay. All right. As you approach the guards, there, maybe well, I don't know if it's swords or if it's lances. Their swords come down to block John's path. Notice how I said you, because this is John here. And actually, there'll be different characters. It won't be you, per se. As John approaches the guards, their swords come down to block John's path. Block his path. Okay, so um okay, let's do something else here. Let's delete that. Okay. I'll read what I'm going to do here. Okay, so if I'm doing a narrative, I guess I'm just doing one choice, am I? Aren't I? He uses his skills to gain entrance to the grounds. The grounds consist of barracks which are in several which are the barracks which are in several consist of barracks are which are in several tents. I guess that's all right. I mean, I'm not trying to go for perfect English here. There's a jousting arena, a man-to-man combat area, the mess tent where food is served, several tents for various disciplines, special students. After going in, he looks around and sees. Uh, okay. There are several groups that loiter about. Several knights are working around, even the various cliques, like those formed in school, are on display. Okay. Oh, okay. So here, let's see what the problem is here. Okay. Wearing past decorated armor, gossiping, some knights are sparring, but seem to actually be inflicting damage, which is not very welcome for tourists. Then again, you don't see any. Okay. First thing John does is approach the princesses. Um, he then proceeds to ask them if they know anything about Karen. Uh, okay, so the possible information. Riley is schools to John has press. She doesn't shut up. Uh, let's see. Okay, so he can ask them about the princess. Um, there has to be some detective work in here though. And somehow he's got to find out where she's held. Uh, uh, okay. They they claim she hasn't shown up yet, but it doesn't really matter anyway because Princess Prep is closed for refurbishment. That's gonna be the long-standing excuse for things being closed down, refurbishment. So anything that's closed is closed for refurbishment. Okay. Doesn't really matter anyway because Princess Prep is closed for refurbishment. He then asks them. Okay. I don't know if there should be an order because my natural thought is that if let me check something here. Okay, and I'm recording still, and that's okay, I guess. Yes. Okay. First thing John Donne's approach to the princesses proceeds to ask them if they know anything about carrying. She hasn't shown any, but it doesn't really matter because it's closer for refurbishment. Now, his natural question might be, is there any way to get in there? But first, let's see. How to get in the princess breath even though it's closed. You can ask about dragons. He then asks her why. He then asks them why it's closed, and they repeat refurbishment. After pestering them a little bit, I tell him so Princess Prep and Wizard U are going to be closed up, and Fairy God College is going to be run, but it's not. Nobody can get out, go in, or go out. So it's closed up too, but it's not. It's being used, right? Night school's the only one that's open. What do they tell him? What's the excuse? Now, maybe I'll just leave it like that. Because as far as anybody knows, it's just closed for refurbishment. It's not closed for any particular reason. Um, he asks them about the dragons, and they proceed to tell him how they used to do shows with the dragons on Tuesdays and Thursdays, three times a day. But that one day, the dragons started acting peculiar, and from then on, it wasn't safe to work with them anymore. Okay. All right. What else is he going to find out? He's asked about that. He's kind of asked about the Princess Prep. He hasn't asked about getting in yet. See, this is the thing that I want to do. It talks to him. I guess. I mean, I guess you could do a dialogue tree later. It wouldn't be a dialogue tree here. I could do a dialogue tree here because that would be a conversation that could actually be handled by the different rooms. Each room can be a conversation, a back and forth, right? Question and answer thing. I could do that if I wanted to. That might be kind of tedious. It might take too long. Pardon me, I am yawning because I am sleepy, I guess. Okay. Uh, we asked them if they let's do this differently. Okay. Let's do this differently. Let's do this like really differently. Um because he's going to be asking these questions to everyone that you can talk to, everyone that have you talk to in here. So let's do this based on this information. I'm trying to be quick, right? I got to be quick about this because and it's supposed to be a kind of a shorter story anyways in this first phase. So let's do it that way. So let's say after asking around, John finds out schools were closed uh, one day, and the only explanation given is refurbishment. Uh, Night school was left open so they could actually train the military, and since there didn't seem to be many tourists around, they decided to train them with real weapons and real fighting. He also learned one day the dragons started acting evil, and it was no longer safe to work with them. Okay, that just goes to the princesses working, because so they sacrifice a princess to the dragon, and then you have your knight come in, and the knight comes in and he rescues the damsel in distress, and that happens like on a daily basis at the resort. So since the resort, that's what happens. But now it's no longer safe. Uh, no longer safe to be around them. Okay. Uh, he also learned that Princess Karen was due to speak at Princess Prep, but hasn't shown up yet. And but it doesn't matter anyway because the school is closed. He learns the school, he learns uh, Princess Prep and Wizard U are both closed. Fairy God College is probably open, but they're not letting anyone in or anyone leave. So this is a case where John will have to actually sneak into the two schools to get the information. Now, the only thing is at some point, okay, I have a thing that at some point Karen was let's see what time it is. 4:19. I'm gonna have to probably cut it about here. Uh why they just training for real, the other school's closed. Uh she learns information though. So she learns information about Max's plans, but she's at the Grand Enchanted Landing tied to a wine cask. What that means is, I had this at one point. She was being brought to the schools, and she learned some stuff there. But if John is going in there to learn about the schools, then she is not. Uh, Actually, it could be where John finds out where she is, right? And the Count was supposed to turn into a bat and do some reconnaissance. So I'm not sure where to put that in yet either. Because if John figures out learns all this stuff, actually he was supposed to go to okay, so he gets into, let's see, let's go back here. Okay. sends John over to night school and Princess Prep to get some answers. Okay, so basically, it's just concerning these because see, at the same time, presumably, Hubert is going to Wizard U and Fairy God College and learning what happened, but John is still supposed to find a way into Princess Prep, and I don't know how to do that. Uh, of course, the first obvious deal, which I probably don't like because I don't really care when they do that, is where they dress up as women to get in somewhere, and it's been like this classic, kind of this classic comedy trope where they dress up as a girl in order to either get in with the girls or you know dress it up in a dress as a disguise or something. And I'm not going to do that. Partly because I don't want that kind of stuff because of the nature of modern society today. I don't want any guys wearing women's dresses and stuff like that, even if it's just for comedy. And plus, the school is closed anyway, so he's not going to need to sneak in. He's not going to need to look like a princess to sneak in, but he still needs a way to in, and he needs to know uh, how. So maybe Princess Prep. Maybe the schools that are closed with magic, and you need a special way of getting in. So okay, okay. Since I'm doing this a narrative, John manages to find a way into Princess Prep. Now, I have no clue what's inside Princess Prep right now. Um, I'm assuming that there'll be, these are all tents, but I'm assuming there'll be like classrooms and maybe there's only one though for them or something. That would actually be a way of keeping kind of your costs down. I don't mean necessarily monetary costs. I just mean uh, to be a little bit more efficient or conservative about your thing. So if I go in there and instead of a princess prep, instead of having multiple rooms, maybe it only has one room, and the princesses go into that one room to learn stuff. So it's like a single tent, um, but it's still locked, and yeah, I don't know. I have to think about that for a bit. Um, let's go back to the to do. I think that's all I'm going to get done today. Uh, what? What did I do? Close it? I closed it. Uh, okay, file recent. To do. Okay. Okay, I just did that, and we'll have to save Tuesday or New Year's Eve day, December 31st. Okay. Yeah. So maybe tomorrow I'll start in actually adding rooms to the game, and then I'll come back and do some more of the story. Okay. So so I know I didn't get that much done today. I still have to work on that. But I did get something done today, just a little tiny bit. I didn't get any of the actual game done today, game wise, but I did reconfigure the story a little bit. I need a quick short story. I don't need individual deals. In fact, when I do the choices, I'll make them kind of quick too. So basically, he finds out this information, and then he needs to get in to Princess Prep to see if there's anything that he can learn about her kidnapping. Because even though she never made it to the school, he about the time he seen when she was kidnapped, um, and maybe there'll be maybe eventually there would be like a puzzle like there he sneaks into the school and he has to find some sort of paper or something. Okay, let's assume we're kind of modeling this on the real world slightly, and it's comedy, so it's meant to be kind of funny. And they have the administration castle, which is a real castle where the king resides, but it also set up his throne room to be a meeting room. And then they got various departments that handle tickets and handle just basically the running of the resort. So let's say that somehow I might have to write this stuff down here before I go. Uh, John is fine. Inside he finds some invoices for uh, some invoices uh, that he doesn't recognize as important, but uh, somehow are related to Karen's kidnapping. And that would be kind of the joke. The joke is that you wouldn't leave important papers around like invoices to kidnap people. So we'll do this deal about the red tape and how they need to fill everything out in triplicate. And a long time ago they needed to do a triplicate. Nowadays we have got computers, and so now they're able to print them out. In fact, they'd be able to print them out, way back in the day too. Once fax machine or not fax machines, once copy machines uh, were kind of the norm in businesses. Instead of having to fill out three separate papers, filling out something in triplicate, they could just run a copy. And actually, considering that this is supposed to be like medieval setting kind of thing, then I guess they wouldn't be using a machine. Not that they couldn't, because we got the magic Quicksilver, but just because it kind of suits it more. So somehow related to Karen's kidnapping, uh, which leads him to the fact she's being held in the Grand Enchanted Landian somehow. All right, Wizard U. Very good college. Okay. So I'll leave it like that. I needed to add this extra bit because I would forget. So he sneaks in. He's looking at these papers, and the joke is everything that they do has to have a form, right? Sort of like the IRS, sort of like any big organization. So everything has to have a form, including uh, henchman activities, including kidnappings and murders and all this kind of stuff. So it's got to be in print somewhere, and he's able to find that out and somehow able to figure out that she's in the hotel. Anyways, I think that should do it. I think I already stopped recording, didn't I? Yeah, that's kind of too bad. But I can show it the next time I'm on here. So I guess tomorrow what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand the game part itself more. I'm going to add more rooms. I'm going to add a few choices that lead to more things, and we'll actually make a little bit of little bit of progress in the game tomorrow. So I want to thank everybody, all one or two of you, uh, for watching and or listening. Here, let's switch to this. Yeah. So thanks for watching and or listening, and I guess I'll see you again tomorrow, and we'll uh, we'll try to pick up tomorrow. At least I'm making a little bit of progress, anyways. It's not still not very fast. Like, pardon me. It's still not very fast like I want it to be, obviously. That's partly why I want to compress the time down to. I want to see if I can get this phase done in whatever a month or whatever it is. So yeah, I'm gonna try to ramp it up, try to make more progress in the coming days, try to make more progress in that video edit so I can start uploading updates, and we'll see where we go from there. Okay, so thanks, and I'll see you tomorrow.